Bruce, you got a question last week from your Cambridge, Massachusetts class. When I'm generating a work breakdown structure, the pattern for the completion of documents is always the same. Draft, review, edit, approve. Can I just list all the documents as the one deliverable, place all the activities underneath it, and I'm done with that section of the WBS? It seems a lot easier, but I'm afraid I'll pay for it later. It sounds efficient. How did you answer it?
Yeah, a lot of people do that because people like to be efficient, and people like to, especially when I'm dealing with engineers, try to find more efficient ways of doing what I've been teaching for 35 years. But there's a problem with it, and they'll find that out in the next workshop. So what happens is, you could do that. You could say, I've got 15 different documents, each case, draft, review, edit, and they'll write that down in the work breakdown structure, and then they'll be smart and say, they'll draw an arrow all the way across, or they say ditto all the way across, and I'll say, that's fine. But now, what happens in the next workshop? In the next workshop, we have to find out who's going to take responsibility for this. And it's most likely that the person drafting this document is going to be different from the person drafting that document. And also, when we get to the workshop after that, where we're scheduling these, they're going to happen at different times. They're going to need different durations.
Right.
It's going to be different. And so, even though it seems frustrating during the work breakdown structure session, I do need you to write down draft user requirement specification, etc., and then it's draft functional specification, and all the steps below that. It doesn't take that long. Just get somebody to write whatever you're doing, and then write down what the deliverable is above that. Because then when we get into the next two workshops, we'll then determine who is going to do what. So in the actual planning sessions, I expect them to do the same thing. But when we get into the schedule, then we can start seeing patterns. It's usually the same group of people reviewing these documents, the same amount of time being spent reviewing them, somewhat different amount of time spent drafting them in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, you can use the cut and paste function within Microsoft Project or whatever your scheduling tool is to copy these chunks down, link them up to the previous deliverable or wherever they should be linked properly. But use the cutting and pasting function then, not too early when it doesn't make sense.
Okay, so don't take the shortcut here, cut and paste when you get to the schedule.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah.